Hello, everybody. It's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Woohoo! 2 thumbs up. It's a beautiful day. I was just watching some of the people out there fishing. It looks like they're mooching for cod or something. They're not trolling, but I wish them the best of luck, right? You know, it's a beautiful thing. Anyways, now that I got the how to do's finished with, I'm going to make an announcement on my channel. I was talking to my friend Jeff. Anyways, he says to me yesterday, he goes, "Oh, Robbie, watch the videos. Everybody's going to wonder who your friend Jeff is." So we had a chat about it. Pretty shortly, we're going to have a segment, probably, I don't know, once a week. It's going to be, you can ask Jeff or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll have a conversation with Jeff. You know what? I promise it will be highly entertaining. It'll be a very stoic way of talking about life because, I kind of get a kick out on here when I kind of imitate him. I can actually probably do Carlos too and my son, but I don't know. I'm pretty good at doing Jeff when he's like, "Oh, Robbie, how is it going today? It's another fine, beautiful day." He's going to be laughing when he sees that. But anyways, my topic of today is friendship, and the importance of it. Like last week, I did a video about boundaries and setting up boundaries, and the funniest thing, I got a call on Messenger from a friend of mine, Doug. I can't say his first name. Anyways, he's, "Robbie, I watched your video. Was it me who pissed you off?" I said, "No, it wasn't you who pissed me off." I said, "A few people pissed me off, but," I said, "it certainly wasn't you." But I said, I was trying to set up a point on communicating, especially with your friends, right? So anyways, I want to dive in a little bit more about it today because it was something that was bothering me, because when I put a video out, and sometimes I'll watch them a couple times myself, just because I want to get perspective on what I said and see if my message is right, or has my opinion changed or anything like that. And then also I think a little bit, like I'm in the coffee shop or I go to Costco or anything like that. I got my headphones on and I'm kind of watching people, and I just looking at the interaction of people. Sometimes my headphones are off, but I'm just kind of curious about when I'm people watching and stuff. And the one big thing I've noticed with some of the longest friends I've had, and I find it quite sad, is the actual lack of communication on the phone or in person. There's really been a big shift since the pandemic. And what I've found is myself, and I'm sure others feel this way, is that we seem to withdraw is the right word, for more social contact the more often that it happens. And I've made a concerted effort, because I understand that, to reach out to people, not just for my own needs, because I understand that, they may be, I don't know, is suffering the right word? But they've changed. And me as a friend, I'm quite concerned about how they're doing and wanting to reach out to establish that contact. So, I was talking to my son about it, and I talked about this in the video, and he says, you kind of need to stop doing that because, are you having expectations of a callback and return if people aren't willing to do it? And, he'll wait 6 months or a year or longer. I've seen him do it. If, he sends a text or a phone call and somebody doesn't respond, he just doesn't respond back. He moves on. He's in some ways a lot more stoic than I am. But I haven't given up on humanity. I think he has a little bit more, but maybe he's a little bit more realistic than I am. I'm not too sure. But, when you have a really close friend and you see that going on, there's usually a reason for it. It may be partly you, or might, like myself, might be partly, or if not all, in their eyes, how my behavior's been, or my reactions to certain situations, or something like that. It may be that somebody just kind of moves on with things. That's the way they go with their life. But there's people out there that are really hurting, that aren't getting the adequate social contact. And that really is not a good thing for our society, or for us as individuals, families, communities, everything. It's just not good. So kind of what I would like to see people do is really not necessarily reach out, like, say, in a comment section on a video. I'd really like to see somebody to actually time to think of what can they do, what can they join, where can they go to break that cycle. It may be something as simple as going to the library, taking a book off the shelf and reading, and just absorbing the people around you. Like, have some kind of contact. I know myself, like, I make a habit of, every morning I go for my tea and I say hi to people. I might be listening to my headphones, but, I make a conscious effort each day to make sure I have some sort of social contact. And then, maybe a few phone calls. Because I understand the importance of that. Well, there's some guys going by in their trucks, taking their dogs for a walk. For what it is for my mental health and sense of community. It's extremely important. And I don't know, it's just the message I would like people to do that. Some people find that, go to church or whatever your is, or clubs or something, but reach out in a way that helps you to do things and have more contact with people and just feel better about yourself. The only thing that is negative in this world is what we listen to or see. And if we want more positive things to happen for ourselves, we need to put ourselves in more positive situations, interact with those people that exhibit the same type of behavior. We can't be afraid to go out there and just be tired of the world, right? We're not going to make any changes. We're not going to come around. We're not going to get any better if all we do is withdraw and turn into a cocoon, right? You know, it's kind of like Bug's story, you know. The caterpillar goes in the cocoon. He says, I'm going to be a shiny, happy butterfly. Woo, right? You want to be that butterfly. Come out of your cocoon. I think it'd be a great thing. Anyways, that's my message today. I know I'm rambling on a bit. You know, it's not necessarily even a stoic perspective or anything like that. But it's just something I notice. I watch. I just want people to have a better day. Be more positive. You know, enjoy your community. You should be enjoying. Okay? Remember, the most important thing is to be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Have a great day. Okay. Bye-bye.